The rise of the hero of the Republic. Donald Trump was born in 1946, a brash spark in the gleaming heart of Queens, New York, a world ruled by ambition and the shadow of power. His father, Fred, built a kingdom of brick and mortar. Young Donald learned early that the game was won with boldness and gold. By the 1970s, he'd crossed into Manhattan, a golden-haired prince of the Democratic stronghold that had shaped the city for generations. Here, the party was law. Its lords like Chuck Schumer, a rising star in New York politics, ruled with smiles and steel. Trump thrived in their orbit, a flamboyant deal-maker. He danced at their galas, donated to their coffers, and spoke their tongue. For decades, he was one of them, a hero of the empire in his own right. He praised their icons and called himself a Democrat with pride. He rubbed elbows with Schumer, then a congressman, at fundraisers and ribbon cuttings. His wins and his failures crafted him into a master deal-maker. His book, The Art of the Deal, in 1987, was a hit. His towers crowned him a bard of capitalism, progress through power. This was the Democrats' creed. Schumer, who'd grin beside him at events, saw a kindred spirit. Loud, unapologetic, a New Yorker through and through. Trump was no foot soldier. He was a knight, wielding wealth and charisma, loyal to the machine that had cradled his rise. Chapter 2. The Turn to the Rebellion. Beneath the glamour, a restlessness brewed. The empire, once a forge of opportunity, grew bloated in Trump's eyes. Its decrees stifling, its lords like Schumer too entrenched and smug. By the late 90s, he began to drift. He flirted with the Reform Party in 1999, a brief rebellion snuffed out, but the seed took root. After a presidential prospect failed in 2000, he'd toy with the empire again from 2001 to 2009, after a Republican president declared war and sent troops to the desert. In 2008, he praised Obama, but promises made were not kept. In 2009, the Republican Party called to him, honest men and women rallying against the empire's attempt to undermine the constitutional republic created by the Founding Fathers and install a democracy in its place. The birther controversy in 2011 set the Democrats ablaze. That year, at a White House dinner, Obama told everyone that Trump could never be president. Challenge accepted. Schumer watched in disbelief as their old ally turned rogue. Trump wasn't just leaving the empire, he would join the republic to dismantle it. He was a well-known celebrity in his own right. From his ventures in real estate, casinos, and towers, to his hit show, The Apprentice. He had fame and friends, and in 2015, he descended the golden escalator in Trump Tower as a Republican presidential candidate. The Republic did not embrace him at first. He was not a polished general, but a wild, unscripted warrior. He'd been forged in the empire's fires, knew its tricks, and now aimed to burn it down. Though many of his old friends hate him for exposing their corruption and leaving their empire, many of his old enemies finally got to know him and became his friends and supporters. God bless America. Chapter 3. Champion of the Republic. The Republic was no easy fit. Its ranks eyed Trump warily, a former Democrat with brash tastes. In 2016, everything changed. The Republic's faithful rallied. He was their champion, a defector turned savior. There were many skeptics, his words raw and unpolished, promising to smash the tyranny he'd once served, echoed across the crowd. Against the empire's chosen, Hillary Clinton, he fought like a berserker. His iconic line,
"Because you'd be in jail,"
echoed across the world. Then, on November 8, 2016, Trump took the presidency, a rebel knight destined to bring patriotism back to the country. Schumer, now Senate Minority Leader, stood aghast. The man who once threw him fundraisers, a man he'd toasted at dinner parties, was now the enemy of the empire. The Republic had won their first victory in decades. They struck back where they could. Schumer, once jovial, became a voice of venom, decrying Trump's every move. Tax cuts, border walls, trade wars, these were all seen as heresy to the empire. The old affection curdled into hate, a personal betrayal, fueling the clash. Trump, meanwhile, reveled in his role. Hero of the resistance, a bulldozer against the Democrats' edifice. His first term was chaos and triumph, disrupting trade pacts, slashing regulations, defying the Senate's imperial chorus. He stopped the empire's flow of kickbacks from oil imports and made the country he loved fully energy independent, even dropping the price of oil to nearly $0 per barrel. The lower and middle class flourished, but the elites were suffering losses, and their greed grew. Twice they impeached him to no avail. Senator Schiff ran the Russian hoax, damaging Trump, but it did not prevail. By the end of 2020, it was clear that there were Democrat spies in his midst. His office was tapped as well. They figured out how to secure the next election. 20 million Social Security numbers of deceased individuals could prove useful. Ballot stuffing was caught on live TV during the news hour, but was fully dismissed by the propaganda machine. Trump was denied a second term. He watched as Biden tore down everything he had worked so hard to build. Drilling stopped. Terrorist funding was back. Oil prices soared. Inflation skyrocketed. The rich got richer. Trump decided that he had to come back to save the U.S. Once again, using socialist tactics, the Democrat Party hurled its legal might. Election fraud suits, expired charges from New York and Georgia, aiming to jail him before the vote. The rebellion grew stronger still. Twice that year, death stalked him. In July, a bullet grazed his ear at a Pennsylvania rally. In September, a second attempt was stopped. Each failure forged him, a phoenix of the Republic. Unshaken, his defiance, a rallying cry. To the empire that raised him, he was a traitor, unbound and bloodied, but unbroken. To the rest of the world, Donald Trump truly was the hero of the constitutional republic, of the United States of America.